I woke before the alarm again. That used to feel like winning, getting ahead of the day, beating time at its own game. Now it only proves what I don't want to admit. Sleep left me years ago. I breathe, but it's not living. It's just air moving through a tired body. The city breathes fast. So do I. News that never stops. Doors that never stay open. Faces that pass without becoming people. I keep a bottle of pills on the nightstand the way sailors keep a knife, just in case. On most mornings, I sit at the edge of my bed and rub the dark under my eyes as if the color will come off on my fingers. A friend, Minho, looked at me one day and said, "You look terrible, Hyung." I laughed the way people laugh when they're trying to make a window out of a wall. "Just tired," he said. "There's a place, a tea room in Bukchon. The master there, she teaches something different, not just tea, listening." I said I didn't have time. He said, "That's exactly why you need it." So I went, mostly to prove him wrong. At the door I hesitated. A small wooden frame, a paper window, wind chimes somewhere I couldn't see. Inside the room was simple. Wooden floor, low table, light like warm water. An older woman sat already waiting, so still that I felt like I had arrived late to a conversation silence was having with itself. "Sit," she said without looking up. I sat. I checked my watch, wondered how long something like this took. She placed a cup near my hand and said, "Tea is waiting." I said, "Waiting for what?" She smiled just at the corner of her mouth and lit the flame. I expected instruction. Hold your cup like this. Breathe in for this many counts. Calm yourself as if calm were a switch. But there was only the sound of water beginning to consider boiling. Nothing else. No lesson but the line the flame kept drawing under the kettle. I asked after a while that felt like being made to stand in a queue with no clear end. "Should I do something?" "You're doing it," she said. "You are here." I exhaled sharply, the way people do when they don't want to sigh. In a world of answers, she offered only questions. Bubbles formed like small promises. Steam rose and unstitched the air. "Listen," she said. "Is it the water boiling or your heart?" I tried to separate the sounds. Couldn't. They braided together. The quiet urgency of the water and the louder urgency in my chest. One thread tugging the other. She poured water over leaves in a small clay pot. I thought the lesson might finally begin. Instead, it slowed even more. "Watch," she said. "Not with your eyes, with your breath." I didn't know how to do that, but I tried. The leaves unfurled, not quickly, not dramatically, just as if they had been waiting their entire lives to be touched by this warmth. And something in me, something that had forgotten how to be patient, recognized that shape of opening. The room changed without changing. The light found edges I hadn't seen. The quiet made space for tiny sounds. Porcelain whispering to wood. Water settling into stillness. A picture began to form, not in front of me but behind my eyes. Fog, so close I could taste it. Mountains that practiced the art of being themselves day after day. No complaints. Leaves that drank April rain and kept May's light like a secret folded in green. Hands, weathered, gentle, learning the weight of a single leaf, not because it was heavy, but because the moment was. Then fire, the good kind, the kind that makes and does not destroy. Heat that taught shape, a slow withering, a careful drying, the long work of becoming whole. I didn't know I was crying until a drop touched my lip and tasted like salt and something older. She said softly, "This leaf has endured wind and fire to meet you today. Will you receive it?" I nodded. Speaking felt like stirring a pond that had just found its mirror. She poured. The liquid was gold that had decided not to be metal. I lifted the cup with both hands as if it might break if I held it like anything less than a promise. At first, I wanted everything to be faster. Now I found myself wishing the pour would take a little longer, that the steam would move more slowly through the morning light, that the moment would widen and let me stay. "What do you taste?" she asked. I searched for words that weren't vocabulary but weather. "Everything," I said. "I taste everything." She poured again. This time I waited without asking how long. "Tea is waiting," she said. "Waiting opens the heart." And I heard the simplest truth wearing no decorations. The tea was never waiting for me. I was waiting for the tea, for the world, for myself. Silence grew, not the kind that empties a room, the kind that fills it. I could hear the sound of liquid becoming still, the sound of my breathing, choosing a slower song. The city was still out there, a soft blur beyond paper windows, but it felt further away, like a loud guest who had finally found another party to attend. The next morning, I woke without the alarm, not because I was afraid of the day, but because the day felt less likely to run away if I didn't chase it. I placed a small set on a small table near a window that had been waiting for exactly this purpose, though I hadn't known it. Heat, wait, pour. No miracles, no thunder, only the honest work of time. Before tea, life hurried me. After tea, life waits for me. I am not chasing time anymore. I am sitting with it. Steam rose like an old friend lifting a hand in greeting. The leaf remembered the mountain. The water remembered the sky. And I remembered how to breathe. Sometimes when the cup is close to my face and the warmth has decided to become mine, I hear her voice without needing her there. Tea is waiting. And in that waiting, I find a home I can carry anywhere.